Evening, welcome to the Derby debrief from RamsTV. Owen Bradley with former Derby captain Shaun alongside, here to bring you reaction to Derby's defeat this afternoon. They lost 3-1 away at Stevenage. First time this season the Rams have lost by 2 goals. Defeat for Derby, leaving them 10th in the League One table. We'll talk through the big moments and bring you Shaun's thoughts on everything shortly. But let's start by hearing from the Derby boss with his reaction. Here's Paul Warne.
Well, obviously disappointed. We came here to try and win, to try and back up a good performance last week. We were well aware of our inadequacies at Shrews, and I was, obviously concerned that didn't happen again. I thought the first half was pretty even. We didn't create a lot, but nor did they. Obviously disappointed that we conceded 2 30-yard free kicks, so that's a massive blow. And then we changed it at half-time, really. We were sort of getting down a little bit on the diags over Foz and doubling up, so we changed the shape. I thought we started the second half really well, created plenty of chances and plenty of action within their penalty box, but we didn't get the equaliser. And on another day, Washes one. If he pulls the trigger a little bit quicker, you get 2-2, and then you're in the ascendancy. It wasn't the case, and we tried to make as many positive changes on the pitch as we could. We played as many attacking players as we could. And weirdly, possibly, the more we huffed and puffed, the worse we got. And sometimes when, there's still 20 minutes left on the clock, you just got to pick and choose your... probably sometimes just breathe a little bit. It just felt a bit frenetic. So that was disappointing. And then, obviously, they... probably flattered. Not too sure we were a 3-1 drumming, but really disappointed. And obviously, the fans are hugely disappointed because they've made a lot of effort to come and watch the team and support the team, and feel let down, which obviously I'm disappointed about. I'm sad about. But the lads kept going to the final whistle, but the physical part of the game sort of let us down.
In terms, I think in quite a few interviews over the last year, you've talked about moments in games. You had that Connor Washington moment where you mentioned there, maybe pulling the trigger could have gone in. You had a chance later on when Hourihane had a chance, swung at it, went over the bar, and then they go down the other end and make it 3-1. How frustrating is it at the moment that those moments just aren't on your side?
Well, yeah, hugely frustrating. I remember Cash's header as well. Too sure what's happening there, but yeah, it is hugely frustrating because the lads take the information on really well, train really well, and then we just let ourselves down in moments in games. And today was another example where we had chances to equalise and we just didn't take it. And unfortunately, we need to become more ruthless if we're going to pick up the points we need to be successful. So that's the disappointment for me. I thought as well, first half we just didn't play with enough personality. That was also another issue. I just didn't think we were good enough on the ball, and I was saying to him about being brave, because it's going to be a physical game, but being brave on the ball, not just winning challenges and winning second balls. You've got to be brave on the ball and take it. You can't just sort of stand back and go, yeah, just throw it down the line, it's fine. You've got to be brave and try and get on it. So that's what's disappointing, and we created enough moments to potentially take something from the game, but we haven't, and hugely heartbroken by that.
You've got a home game on Tuesday. It's a quick turnaround again. You mentioned on Radio Derby, it feels like it's one step forward and one either back or sideways. The lack of sort of consistency must be, in terms of results, what's driving you absolutely mad at the moment.
Yeah, a little. Well, obviously, you know me pretty well. Yeah, disappointing. I mean, we it's sort of like there's nothing in between. We're either excellent or quite poor. But it's the taking the opportunities. Tuesday night we took the opportunities and you win. No, I don't even think they had a shot today. I don't know how many attempts on goal they had, but it's frustrating. So yeah, you want back-to-back wins. You go into another home game. You feel good about yourself. But look, I knew coming here it's going to be a tough game. They were higher than us in the league. It's not going to be easy. No one gets their belly rubbed and just lay down. They play in a way, win a dubious free kick for the second goal, and that's all the when you come to away from home, there are all the other things you have to fight, not just the opposition. You have to fight everything about it, and we just fell short today, of which I'm sorry for.
Just a couple of housekeeping issues. No Martin Waggle on today. What's the situation with him? And also just on Joe Ward, good to see him back on the pitch because it's been a long old road for him coming back.
Yeah, it's good for Wardy. Unfortunately, Waggy pulled out of training, after training yesterday. About 30 minutes after training, came with the doctor in my room and just said he felt a bit hammy. It calmed down. He didn't really feel it in training. He felt it after it, so we weren't going to take a risk. If he played today and then out for 6 weeks, it's pointless. So we didn't take the risk for him. And obviously having Wardy back on the pitch gave us something else, which I was glad he was on the bench because I just thought we could have something else. Yin and yang, innit? Good and bad. So hopefully Waggy will be fit. He won't be available possibly for Tuesday or Sunday. But hopefully for after that.
And we mentioned in one of the previous questions, home on Tuesday, Northampton, quick turnaround, ready to go again at Pride Park.
Yeah, and hopefully, you've got to criticise, criticise all of us, but we've got to build ourselves back up again for Tuesday. You win again Tuesday and the world seems a better place, but it's just frustrating that we can't do back-to-back performances and results because at times our play is scintillating and at times we let ourselves down. So we just got to try and get the balance right and hopefully if Tuesday night playing against another good team, they've been promoted like these have, so they're full of confidence and beans. Hopefully if we can perform Tuesday night, we can give our fans something to smile about.
That's Paul Warne. We'll hear from the captain, Conor Hourihane, shortly as well. Let's bring in Barks and get some views from him. Derby losing today to 2 first-half free kicks. Nathaniel Mendes-Land pulls one back, but Kane Hemmings seals it later on after he'd already missed a really good chance. Similar to what we've seen in previous games of the season where Derby haven't started well and they've not really been in the game in the first half. Would that be a fair assessment?
Yeah, I don't think there was much between the two teams in the first half. Of course, they took the 2 free kicks, which we should have done better with. But we played into their hands, I thought. I think Paul's used to having a team that competes and duels and wins those battles. And probably for the first time, he's got a squad of players that at times when you go to Stevenage and you want to play that way, you want to win those duels, and I thought we came out second best, and I think they're just better at it. So then he talks about bravery. How are you going to compete? How are you going to earn the right to play and then actually get the ball down and play? And at times in that first 45 minutes, I don't think we did that well enough. The second half, he changed formation. There was definitely a bit more spring in our step. We were more positive going forward. We created enough opportunities in that final third and lacked quality and lacked the final pass, lacked the detail. And in games that are tight like this and there's not much football being played, you have to make the most of them. So I reflected early in the season where I'm looking at the team and looking and deciding who's made a positive contribution, who's performed well. There wasn't enough individually and collectively today, and Stevenage just had that more bite and the game played out the way that they wanted it more than the way that we wanted it.
The first half goals, which end up being enough for Stevenage, they both come from free kicks, which come from fouls, which come from Derby giving the ball away, and you identified them sort of trying to play through the middle. Derby is a bit of an issue for them first half.
Yeah, I think when you're playing against a team that want to land on second balls, want to condense the area, wants to stop a team playing football and making the pitch expansive, you can't keep on playing centrally and you can't keep on having too many touches in key areas in the central and midfield area. So I thought it was as simple as you fight, you win your duels, you go forward, you stretch the pitch, but at times you also have to regain composure and play the ball into the wide areas and make the advantage in the wider spots of the pitch. And our goal came from that. It came from the ball being played out to the right-hand side. Wilson was on the right. Sibbs drops into a little space. They played it from one side to another, out to Mendes-Lang on the left, who cut back in and had a shot from inside the box. And that was the only glimpse of us controlling the ball in the first half, and we get a goal from it. The second half naturally opens up because we're trying to be more aggressive on the front foot, trying to play more positively, trying to get a reaction from the players. Understandably, the game opens up in the last 10-15 minutes where we conceded that third goal, but it took too long. It took too long to maybe reevaluate how the game was going, how to look at that game and go, this is what we need to do. And again, I look through the midfield and look through the players on the pitch. We've got footballers in there, so they have to be brave to get on the ball and they have to keep it and be tidier in possession, because the in possession stuff for me today was short of the quality that we expect with the players on the pitch.
Yeah, a lot of mistakes are creeping in, and the inconsistencies is becoming increasingly frustrating for Derby, not just from game to game, but if you think start of the season they were excellent away from home. The last 3 games they've gone away from that. Yes, they beat Exeter on Tuesday, but it now starts to put pressure on the home format. How do you start to find some consistency, do you think?
Well, if you look at the last 3 away games, they're against teams that are set up to make a fight, to win battles, win duels, make it ugly, make it frustrating, and we haven't got over that. So early in the season, we're playing against teams maybe that were a little bit more expansive, wanted the ball, wanted us to want to play free-flowing football, and then the way that you set up and the way you go to away teams and said, this is how we're going to win a game, this is how we're going to be progressive up the pitch, this is how we're going to get all 3 points. The last 3 games, we've played against teams that like that, they enjoy that, and we haven't managed to change the way that we need to play to get a result. And we're coming away from what we would call not particularly big teams in this division or big clubs on the receiving end of some disappointing results, and that's because I do believe they have the players to deal with that type of football. We've seen us at our best when we mix it up, when we go long, when we stretch the pitch, when we ask forward runners to get the ball moved from the back to forward in as many touches and passes as possible. But at the same time, you have to recognise the game and how the team are playing. And for me, the width was there to be used, and we didn't use it at all. We didn't have the players in that midfield area to keep it simple, 1 and 2 touch, move the ball out and around and create a bit of space on the pitch, because they nullified that from the moment go. And again, you look back at it, we had chances to put a little bit of pressure on them. We didn't take those chances, those key moments when they came about.
Let's get some more reaction from the Lamex Stadium. We can hear from the captain, Hourihane.
Yeah, very disappointing. Came here with high hopes after getting a good win on Tuesday, and we wanted to back it up with another good kind of 3 points and kind of start climbing that table. It just didn't fall for us, wasn't to be. And look, it's frustrating, of course, everyone knows that, there's no getting away from it.
The second goal came at a really crucial time for them. How difficult was it going into the break behind?
Yeah, it's obviously literally the last kick of the first half, which was a kick in the teeth. But look, we made changes, and we made some changes ourselves at half time, and I felt second half, especially first 15 minutes or so, we were really on top, dominating. And obviously they've got something to hold on to, and then they catch us with a couple of counters and all the rest of it. But yeah, look, everyone's disappointed. There's a lot of frustration there. We know that, we get it, and we wanted to come here today and get the right result, and it's just not felt for us.
Was that the kind of test you expected from Stevenage, making life very difficult for you?
Yeah, for sure. That's the way they play. The game on Tuesday night when you're at home against Exeter, when you have lots of possession, is going to be completely different when you come here on a Saturday, and we spoke about that before the game. It's not like we didn't, and we did. It was a surprise to us. We knew it coming into the game what it was going to be like. We need to battle and win the fight in there, and then show our quality. I think we did it at spells. We just didn't do it for long enough, and ultimately we come undone, really.
Frustration with the result, and I'm sure frustration again that you weren't able to build on Tuesday, like you say.
Yeah.
How do you go about creating that momentum that you've not been able to do so far?
Yeah, we need to win more games, simple as that. That's the only way you're going to get momentum, is by winning games. Tuesday night at home will be completely different today. We'll have loads of the ball, no doubt, and we'll try and create chances and entries into their box and try and score goals, of course. And so there's all types of different games in this league, and at home it seems like it's flipped on its head a little bit. Start of the season we couldn't get a result at home. All of a sudden we feel more comfortable at home, and now away we're struggling a little bit. So we just need to become more consistent, and we need to keep working hard, and we're hoping that it will turn, really.
Quick chance to put it right again, back to Pride Park on Tuesday night. How important is it to respond to today?
Yeah, for sure. It's we need to have a bounce. We need to get that result and that win that we wanted to get here today. It wasn't meant to be, and we need to turn up on Tuesday night and put in a performance to get that 3 points again.
That's the Derby captain, Hourihane. Results from today: Barnsley get a point at home to Fleetwood. They trailed a couple of times there. Peterborough winning at Blackpool. That a battle of two of the sides in the playoff places. 6-goal thriller in that one. Portsmouth, the leaders, came from 2-0 down to win at Reading. Big win to keep them top of the table. Oxford have to settle for a point at home to Wycombe, so a mixed day for sides toward the top of the table. And a win for Wigan as well that helps their push to get out of the relegation zone. This is the top half of the table. Derby slipping a place. They're now 5 points off the top 6. Yes, with games in hand on a couple of sides, including Stevenage, but the gap grows between them and the promotion places. At the other end, you can see Wigan have managed to get out of danger. Carlisle dropping into the relegation zone. Northampton just above it, only out on goal difference. Derby, of course, face Northampton on Tuesday night. And that's a game we'll have for you on RamsTV for viewers worldwide, including in the UK. You can get your Game Pass now at dcfc.co.uk. That's where you'll get more reaction to today's game as well, if you want it. But for now, from me, Barks, and the rest of the RamsTV team, bye-bye.
To the byline, pull back, chance! Corey Smith's first goal for Derby County. Sibley inside the area. It's Louis Sibley who makes it 2. Can Derby make something happen here? Toward Collins, here's a chance! Derby have a precious second goal!